Digital Archive of Republic Geodetic Authority represents all measures, activities, software solutions, standards and processes that has raised as a result of project activities since 2006 till present days through RGA Digital Archive project. The project has been developed through state authority by donations from the Kingdom of Sweden and Norway, World Bank credit funds, as they were used to renovate working facilities, and from the other side with RGA projectants engagement. Respectable production capacity has been built, and as such it should provide a process that each paper document which is in RGA possession, and potentially for any other type of institution, and is significant if any useful way, could be converted in raster form. It should also provide, along with correct code-defining metadata, fast search of any type of document under requested search criteria. Norwegian donation provided the possibility to develop and transfer those processes from pilot project level to quite respectable production resource which is capable to produce systematic digitization of whole RGA documentation in projected deadline. The structure of RGA documentation is defined through RGA whole documentation inventory. The material which is the subject of conversion is presented in minor parts at Arhiv treasure premises in head office, and its bigger part is present in each cadastre municipality in Serbia. Following real estate cadastre foundation, the records of land cadastre as well as land books documentation were consolidated. At that moment, we overtook complete land books records from municipal courts, and that material is also significant conversion subject. The material which is the subject of conversion is listed, properly packed, and along with application form arrives to conversion facility. Related to fact this analog material has permanent storage status. We follow strict procedures in order to check application form. The documentation is delivered from all local offices in order that bigger city municipalities has priority. The material which is the subject of conversion is listed, properly packed, and along with application form arrives to conversion facility. Related to fact this analog material has permanent storage status, we follow strict procedures in order to check application form. The documentation is delivered from all local offices in order that bigger city municipalities has priority. This activity is very important procedure part because it improves the quality of raster files and takes care of analog documentation protection. Condition of analog documentation after this phase is significantly improved, and after the conversion it is placed in proper facilities for permanent storage. You can witness from following examples the damage level of documents and how complex work is to revitalize them. Entire development of the software was donated by the Norwegian government along with selfless help of Norwegian experts. Software part of system wouldn't be like this if they were not here. Workflows represent atomic operations which form dynamic work processes depending on document type. Each document type has its own workflow for its one which defines document flow to production process. Workflow covers all atomic operation like starting document regarding its condition, control before scanning, final control after scanning, déjà vu conversion, and archiving. Project team decision was to implement dynamic structure of the document types which should be described with metadata. For that purpose, administrative model was developed. in which new types of documents are created. Metadata from document are described as added or deleted. Group format documents is created in logic units, and all that is transferred to the system of metadata entering. System is based on central management regarding of document type, which is very important for DA system coexistence, and that system grows along as new type of documents are defined. Subsystem for metadata entry enables local offices to describe documents that are in their premises. Describing is done by the metadata entry for each type of document particularly. In order to fact that the metadata about documents dictates production process, this subsystem is very important. Shortly, if document is poorly described, we will not be able to scan that document and to find it, and that makes the purpose of digital archive compromised. To lower that risk, the double entry of metadata is implemented. The control of metadata is process during which the errors are corrected and the documents are marked as good. To facilitate the manipulation of documents, in Digital Archive we have implemented the barcode, which uniquely identifies each document in the system. That barcode is generated during the second entry of metadata. From documents that have been entered, we fulfill application form. Application represents a list of all documents that will be sent to the Digital Archive. Along with this application, metadata are exported for the documents that are joined to the application. All of these functionalities are developed in a purpose of building capacity of Digital Archive system, because with automatic document recognition and with metadata, the capacity for scanning is significantly increased. Applications, together with metadata, are imported into production process. The list of documents in the application must be identical with the analog documents that has been received in Digital Archive. By starting of application, the production process starts. Next step is to start each document separately in following way: starting without errors, starting with error, reparation needed. After this step, the next one is that the document state is checked out, and that is the final point before physical scanning, where we can do something with document or something with metadata. The purpose of all of these steps is to make sure that in a scanning procedure only physically and logically correct documents are present. After all these preparation actions, documents arrive to scanning working place. User interface for scanning is identical for all documents and is independent of the device for the scanning. This enables the operator to maximally pay attention to quality control of scanned images. The system will do the rest, like giving the name to the image, saving an image, picture transfer to the defined place, repeating scanning, etc. One of the most important processes is the process of final control. This part of the system where users actually do control is directly responsible for accuracy and quality of the scanning process. Controller decides does the scanned image is correct or not, and can return part or whole document for repeated scanning. After document verification under quality control criteria is fulfilled, each document is sent to conversion process in déjà vu format. This format can compress to 400 times and significantly reduce time for image viewing both locally and over the internet. After the successful finishing of all these steps, documents with corresponding metadata are archived and at that moment are searchable. After archiving of all documents for application, the system is able to export documents by the application by creating export file which have metadata about scanned documents and images of those documents. This export file is delivered to the local offices which initiated application for scanning on the first place. Local office is now able to import this export file to the local system. This functionality is done through Import Data from Arhiv menu. After the import is finished, local users are able to search and view documents by defined metadata for each document. The system will display scan image with all common functionalities for all ordinary image viewers like rotations, zooming, etc. In this application, we have created a user guest in purpose to search and view the images. This user has no credentials. The administration of such a complex system involves administration of system users, working places, users' rights, devices, etc. It is possible to create users, group users, based on several criteria, like groups and organization units. It is possible to define working places. Moreover, the system can assign access rights to all system components on the level of single action. Assigning access rights can be done from a group level, organization unit, and single user level. By doing this, we can fine-tune the access rights and every user will be able to do and see only actions that he really needs for daily operation. Furthermore, in order to provide a unified interface to the users of the system, it is needed an administrative part which deals with devices to define devices profiles. Profile represents the most used devices features. Then we connect all document types with appropriate profile, and this connection is called default profile for the document type. In the fine-tuning part of the administration, it is possible to define conversion servers. Also, in this group we can manage workflows in terms of connecting workflows with document types. It is possible to assign the rights for workload management. It means that we are able to define which user can manage workflows. The possibilities are much greater, but we have mentioned only the most significant ones. The production conversion line contains photo tables, flat and rotation scanners, A0 scanners, and scanners for photogrammetric records, negatives. This scanner was gained during the third phase of Swedish donation project and presents significant part in production line, and with it, the last cube in this conversion devices range mosaic is fulfilled. It is quite a lumpish device, made in Ukraine, completely automated, and with accuracy of 12 microns, represents appropriate resolution for our requests and standards. With this device, it is possible to digitize quite voluminous photogrammetric archive material, which witnesses about many surveys of our territory that took place at the second half of 20th century. So, this special type of the documentation is users available. Rotation and flat scanners are conversion material devices that are used for the documents to A3 format range, but flat scanners can scan a bit larger format, which is defined as A3+. Rotation scanner's basic characteristic is high speed if the documents are in good shape. This device is capable to scan both sides of paper, hundreds of them in just several minutes, in high quality and resolution. DA has 8 of them, and we plan to obtain another 10. It should be mentioned that 4 operators are needed to prepare documents for only one rotation scanner. Flat scanners are usually used to scan survey sketches in bigger than A3 format or for sketches that have dense details and the highest resolution is required. Digital Archive department has 2 types of scanner for A0 format. Rotation scanners that have the widest use range because they convert all types of sketches and maps. Flat scanners, which were in scan center facilities, and this department became the part of DA. These scanners are high-end scanners, and we use them only to convert our original Arhiv plans and originals of basic state maps. We can also use them for external users if they have high-quality result requests. We will introduce these scanners with more details during Scan Center presentation. Photo table is a universal conversion device for the documents that are bounded or not, for all formats. It is the result of innovative idea of the project leaders, and it has been developed through 4 phases. Whole project team was involved in it. It is consisted of SLR high quality photo camera table construction, working surface, anti-reflective glass with a double germanium coating, lighting, pneumatic device with double commands, computer and power supply system. When photo table started to develop, its purpose was exclusively the scanning of land books, but in further development it was achieved to shoot separate pages of all formats. Its development is still in progress and it's adjusted to requests and needs of operators. It showed its usefulness many times because with this device we managed to scan over 15,000 land books, which is 70% of all land books at the territory of Serbia. In numbers, it is like 7 million of separate pictures of land books and around 150,000 pages of other separate documents. In land book format, we have 200 dpi resolution, which satisfies the standard. Compared to book scanners, photo table is 4 to 6 times cheaper and even more cheaper in maintaining. We can proudly highlight the fact that the Kingdom of Norway, with its donation, made possible production for 6 tables along with spare parts, and with this fact we became the first conversion factory. Control procedures in DA are a necessity that provide trustworthiness of whole DA system. We provide quality control for scanned documents and interconnection of raster file with suitable data from a metadata base. Control processes are incorporated in software system. Scanned files are placed in memory units of great capacity and storage in 2 physically separated places. Further development of DA goes in direction to create distribution service, and we have now a likely possibility to build 3,000 square meters terminal where we place analog documentation. With this capacity, we will have enough place for analog documentation for a long time period. We are especially grateful to the Kingdom of Norway for its digital Arhiv donation when it was in the most critical development phase. It was the phase through which we managed to overcome small pilot project line production to real digitizing factory.